Exploring career paths and opportunities, enlightening students by helping them develop essential skills, and connecting them to the professional world. We bridge the gap between undergraduates and their future careers. We are UP CAPES. Unparalleled commitment, agility, professionalism, excellence, and service since 1991.
Achieving a vision involves consistent little efforts. Planning out our objectives, focusing on the process. We lay down the groundwork, and maybe we reap rewards. However, while there are many paths to greatness, we shouldn't limit ourselves to taking just one route. Small steps matter. And with guidance, you'll be one step closer to achieving your dream.
This event wouldn't be possible without our company partners. Career Development Month 2020 is co-presented by UP CAPES and INKOMPASS in partnership with Accenture, Analog Devices, JPMorgan Chase Company, Maxim Integrated, Mondele Philippines, Nestle Philippines, Texas Instruments Philippines Incorporated, and Unilever Philippines.
Wake up, London. Rise and shine, Shanghai. What's up, Mumbai? New York, New York. Get out of bed. Greet the day. It's time to make a difference. Forge ahead with new ideas and work together. You'll dream bigger. After all, you're an artist, an athlete, a tech enthusiast, a role model. Remember, your differences make us stronger, make us smarter, more innovative. It's in our culture at JPMorgan Chase, our DNA. Every career is designed with you in mind, to make an impact, to lead.
Extremely impactful.
Because the chance of a lifetime is all in a day's work. And when the day is done, you refresh, refuel, and get ready for tomorrow. So good night, Rome. Sleep tight, Sydney. Sweet dreams, Tokyo. We'll see you in the morning.
We are the makers and bakers of Mondele International, the world's leader in global snacking. Our future has never been brighter, tastier, healthier, sweeter, crunchier, or bolder.
We're pushing the boundaries of what's possible with fresh questions, ideas, and perspectives. We are ready to disrupt.
It's our mission to lead the future of snacking around the world by offering the right snack for the right moment, made the right way. We are snacking made right.
This opens up exciting possibilities because if you make it with us, you make it with pride.
You'll work with brands that people fall in love with. They remind us of our childhood, the warmth, the delight, the memories.
We are constantly innovating for the future. As our world and tastes change, so do we.
With us, you make it uniquely yours because we want you, just as you are, leaning in, speaking up, and challenging your limits.
With us, you make it a better world. Being global isn't about being big. It's about being part of something bigger than yourself.
A place where the world is yours to protect as well as enjoy. A place where days are filled with different voices, different possibilities, different cultures, but driven by the same shared purpose, empowering people to snack right.
With us, you make it happen.
We're hungry to seize every opportunity and stretch towards new challenges, loving what we do, but not taking ourselves too seriously.
With us, you'll have the space to make a difference, to do more, learn more, and grow more.
Make it with pride.
Make it uniquely yours.
Make it a better world.
Make it happen.
Make it with Mondele International. Snacking made right.
Every day, we are changing the world. We are dreamers. And we are doers. We pride ourselves on perfecting the small. Our 30,000 employees design, manufacture, test and sell tens of thousands of products, tiny electronic chips that are key ingredients in things you experience every day. Look around you. We are there. From connected cars to intelligent homes, from self-monitoring health devices to automated factories. Our technologies are adding intelligence to every type of electronic system, making them safer, smarter, and more efficient. With our global sales team of engineers, our website with deep technical resources, our broad portfolio of products, and our investments in our own advanced manufacturing, we have a unique approach to helping our customers make their design dreams a reality. And along the way, we remain true to our deeply rooted values of integrity, innovation, and commitment. Wherever our ingenuity shines, new possibilities emerge. Chip by chip, design by design. At TI, we are creating world-changing technologies every day, and we can't wait for tomorrow.
Ma, makatulog.
Lika anak, may kwento ko sa'yo. Isang araw, tumigil ang mundo. At nagsitago ang mga tao sa kanilang mga bahay. Ngunit nagsimula ang tulungan at nagpawi ang pangamba. Nakita nila na mayroong pag-asa. Dahil ang bawat isa ay nagpakita ng malasakit.
Malasakit?
Ang malasakit ay ang lubos na pagpapahalaga sa kapwa na nag-uudyot sa iyo na kumilos sa tumulong. Malasakit para sa kalusugan ng bawat isa. Malasakit para sa kabuhayan ng bawat Pilipino. At malasakit para sa lahat. Pero di dito nagtatapos ang kwento. Sa bawat malasakit na naranasan, naipadama pa siya sa iba. Sa malinis na pangangatawan, sa ligtas na tahanan, at sa sarap ng kainan. Pag tuloy-tuloy ang malasakit, tuloy-tuloy ang pag-asa. Ito ang ating kwento. Kwentong totoo at nagsisimula ito sa'yo.
Kahit ako?
Oo.
Hi everyone, I'm Andre and I'll be your host for today. Welcome to Career Development Month 2020. Hello to our YouTube viewers. This is the first time UP CAPES is holding this event. For the month of November, we will be having different initiatives to equip engineering students for their future careers. Please stick around because we have so much in store for you today. This week's talks are all about engineering your ideas. Through Career Development Month, we can create plans and materialize them through practical guides and tips needed to succeed in such endeavors. Today, we will be learning about starting a business amidst a pandemic. But before we start, I'd like all of us to take a look back when UP CAPES launched its year-long campaign last September. Small but consistent steps are essential to any career development journey. Career Development Month is one such step that can help you gain relevant career skills, ultimately taking you one step closer to your dream career. All right, I'm sure everyone here is so excited for our talk show. Let us now introduce our speakers for today. Mr. Will Tan joined Facebook as a client solutions manager with his interest to simplify complexities through creative strategies. Prior to that, his experience spans across sales and marketing with expertise in CPG and retail. While he has moved to different roles across departments, he always brings his love for technology to fuel his ideation and performance. Outside corporate, he's an online entrepreneur with 3 startup brands ranging from fashion retail, coffee drinkware, and novelty items. He is also a graphic artist with expertise on information design, catering to clients in Asia, Europe, and North America. He also finds time practicing his passion for music, may it be through singing, choral orchestral conducting, or sound engineering. In everything he does, he sees to it that it complements his faith and his life verse, and that is to create contagious excellence. Ms. Janelle Inojales has served the office of the chairperson of the Commission on Human Rights since September 2019. She has also worked for the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights in Geneva, Switzerland. She obtained her Bachelor of Arts in International Relations from Webster University and Master of Arts in Human Rights from University College London. Despite having no background in business, Ms. Inojales launched Amelia's Home with Ms. Nicole Tejano in March 2020. Amelia's Home has been featured in local news outlets such as Preview, Real Living, Cosmo PH, Spot PH, among others. Ms. Nicole Tejano studied organizational communication and marketing management at De La Salle University and started her career on the visual merchandising program of Estee Lauder companies. From there, Nicole became a marketing coordinator at MAC Cosmetics, which led to her role as lead of PR and artist relations in 2018. Together with Janelle, Nicole launched Amelia's Home just this March with a direct-to-consumer approach in the middle of a nationwide lockdown. Let us all welcome our speakers to our talk show about starting a business amidst a pandemic.
Good afternoon, Andre.
Hi, good afternoon, Will.
For having us today.
Afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Nicole. Hi, Janelle. Good afternoon also. All right. Okay, so it's an honor to get to learn from you guys today. So I know I've already introduced you, pero maybe I missed something, or you guys want the audience to learn more about yourselves. So feel free to introduce yourself, your businesses, why you started your business, and when you started your business, and why did you choose that business? Okay, anyone can start one. Maybe Will can go first.
Okay, I thought it's ladies first. Eh.
Oh, okay. Pwede rin naman. Yeah.
No. Sige, I can start.
Okay.
So, very unique also versus si Nicole and also Jam. I understand that based on your introduction, they started their business amidst the pandemic. So mine is quite different because some of my businesses have been ongoing prior to the pandemic, but it doesn't mean that I was not hit. So when the pandemic struck, I need to pivot some of my strategies to adapt to the changing times. So that's quite different. Two of the businesses that you've mentioned are actually existing prior to the pandemic, except for one. So one is newly launched 4 months ago. So that's I would say a different story. Maybe something that I'll be able to talk about later on.
Okay, thank you, Will. How about Nicole and Janelle?
So we started Amelia's Home officially in March 2020, but we had this idea ever since early 2020. We really started a business. We really wanted to start a business, but I think with the pandemic, with the quarantine, we really had the time to think about it and plan, and here we are.
Miss Nicole, anything to add? Or
Yeah, I think just to add to Jam, we're best friends. I don't think people know about that. We're childhood best friends.
Oh wow.
So when we were younger, we always wanted to like do things together. So I guess it really just panned out this pandemic. But
yeah.
Maybe along the talk you'll realize that a lot of the things we did is just really through gut feel. We haven't started a business, unlike Will. We haven't started a business anything before Amelia's Home. So I guess for those who haven't started any business yet and like are unsure, maybe can relate more to us.
That's great also. So we've heard na, yeah, you guys started from different backgrounds and yet here we are talking about online businesses. So it's really exciting to learn more from you guys. So, okay, I'd like to start by asking, how did you develop your business idea? And yeah, were there any initial obstacles that you had to overcome, or were there people like doubting or telling you not to start a business? And why did you push through despite that? So yeah, anyone can go first.
Okay, I'll go first since we went ahead of. So Jam and I, it's super funny because when the lockdown started, obviously we couldn't see each other, so we would always do video calls like this. And then I think it became a way of a coping mechanism, us redecorating our room. So every time we would go on, like we redecorate or like we would show off each other, oh, bagong bili yung plant ko or something like that. Oh my God, tinaman yung miracle. So parang it really stemmed on that. Na parang I think it's not just us feeling this way, suddenly buying home stuff, suddenly investing in their houses. So that's where it really stemmed na, okay, we were going to do this. In terms of people telling us not to do it, I don't think anyone told us not to do it just because we didn't share. It just literally like we did it one day and it's there. It's like I don't think anybody knew about it until it was out. I didn't even start posting about it on my social until like what two
We didn't.
months ago.
We didn't want anyone to know it was ours.
Yeah, I didn't like
Oh,
we're so
okay.
weird. We didn't want anyone to know about it. That's why we named it Emilia's Home.
Yeah.
So it's just like literally nothing connected to us.
Right.
And then it became late in the game when we started getting interviews with press where we had to disclose who we are
Yeah.
because a lot of our clients think that Emilia is a real person.
We
So
actually
that's how
send us messages saying, "Hi, Amelia. Thank you."
yeah.
Like actually thinking Amelia is a person.
So, yeah, and then they would be like, "Thank you so much, Amelia. It's great." And
Yeah.
it's like, "Oh my god,
So now
Emilia's
we
a real
so now we sign all our letters or emails with XO Amelia.
Is there any special reason why you guys chose not to share, but or like you guys wanted to surprise everyone that that's you?
I think because we really had no idea what we were doing, so
Yeah.
we just kind of went with whatever was like thrown at us and just go just play it by ear, really.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We came up with Emilia.
Okay, thank you for that, Nicole and Janelle. Will?
So at least on my end, choosing what business to start hinged on the, I would say, the passion points that I have. So one thing that you really need to realize is that having a business, you need to know the market. And if you're already in the market or you're the market, then it's going to be much easier for you to scale up versus understanding how that business would work.
Right.
So at least on my end, I made sure that the businesses that I started, such as fashion retail or even coffee, is something that is close to what I usually want. Also, I mean, looking at what the new trends are, looking at what the good stuff around the different environment we are in. So it would be very crucial for you to stick with what you already know, at least with if you're just starting out a business. Of course, if you're doing this, you're siguro nag-open ka na for like your fifth or sixth business. Even if you don't really like that particular brand, you'll be able to scale it. But that means that you need a partner or an expert who also knows that industry or knows or has an idea of what that market is. So I think knowing your market, knowing the shopper is key to any of the businesses. If you put your business at the heart of your shoppers and circle it around them, then you would thrive. So maybe also to answer your second question, if I remember correctly, it's about if people said
Yeah.
no. parang ba?
Were there people telling you not to continue or like doubting your idea?
Yeah.
And
So in terms of doubting my idea, probably it's more of people were actually encouraging. I mean, us Filipinos are, in a way, it's in our DNA to be entrepreneurial. I mean, if you look at your neighborhood, most probably may sari-sari store dyan. I mean, everyone's just so entrepreneurial. If you look at Facebook, there's so many things that's being bought and also sold
yeah.
in marketplace and groups, as in lahat na lang.
Right.
HM po, HMCs, as in kahit saan ka tumingin, as in may buy and sell. So it's in our DNA to be really entrepreneurial. So I guess that kind of mindset, even with my friends, even with my families, are also there. But at the same time, the hesitations or the pushbacks are very limited just because during this time, the barrier to entry is very low. Meaning you can really just start a business with na hindi mo naman kailangan ng ganun karaming capital. It's not like you're building a physical store instantly or hiring so many people right off the bat. So having business now, especially during this time where e-commerce is really thriving, the barrier of entry is really slow and everyone can just enter that.
Well, to ask lang, can you please elaborate on your businesses? Kasi diba you have 3 startup businesses. Maybe you can talk a little about those, specifically.
So I do have one. It's called Reverse Drinkware. So if you Google Reverse Drinkware or drinkweare.com, it's more of coffee, drinkwares, tumblers, flasks, coffee press, etc. So those are the things that I sell. The story around that is that during this pandemic, it actually thrived just because people were now brewing their own coffee at home. I mean, before people will just visit Starbucks, right, to get their morning coffee. But because everyone's stuck at home, they became innovative and really looked at having that satisfaction to brew their own coffee. So that particular business actually thrived. On the flip side, I do have another business called Staffco Wear. Staff, as in STAFF, Co company Wear. You'll be able to Google that too. Staffcowear.com. So that naman is more on fashion retail. Now I mentioned na that's the reverse of reverse, a reverse, just because currently people are not really into fashion, especially if people are at home. I mean, unless Zoom meeting ka forever at naka-video on ka, that's the only time that you wanted to really,
Porma,
Porma. So if not, you're not gonna buy any new clothes. I mean, yung closet mo, nandyan lahat ng mga clothes mo, hindi mo na nga magamit. Bibili ka pa ng bagong clothes. So it's so when the pandemic struck, it is much harder, but I needed to pivot and make it survive. So if Rivers is thriving, one is ang strategy dyan is to make it survive. So how does that play in? So in terms of strategy, what we did is we pivoted to the changing times. If people needed masks, if people needed more loungewear or parang quality shirts that they'll be very comfortable even at home, then that's the retail fashion that would like to produce. So it's more of adapting really to the time. The third one, very quickly, is groombox.com. So groomboxph.com is a company that sells wax and also pomade. So again, this is also a business partnership. Actually, my partner here is a UP student also. So really entrepreneurial, and what we did was it's more of an aggregator kind of model, meaning we look at different suppliers of different pomades across the Philippines, and then get them sell it in our website. So parang SM department store na kumukuha ka ng other suppliers. So you're like
your platform, no?
Correct.
To sell. Okay.
So those are the 3 stuff that I usually do. At least on my personal time, outside, I mean my day job.
All right. Thank you, Will. So, okay. As you mentioned, no, there's different strategies based on your situation of your business. So, for me, kunwari, I'm interested in starting a business this pandemic. So, how can I assess if I'm ready to handle or sustain a business? What factors should I consider? What strategies based on your experience? Siguro, Nicole and Janelle can go first.
Okay, for us, one thing we really considered is we have a day job. We had to make sure now we can do Emilia's Home together with our day job and without compromising our day job. So that's one really big factor for us. It came to a point that because when we started Emilia's Home, we were both work from home, and it came to a point like thinking about, hey, what if we started going back to the office? How is it going to work? Or what if one of us goes back to the office? Or what if in a few months we will go back to normal? And to be honest with you, if we went back to normal, like let's say 3 months after, we'd probably have a hard time just sustaining Emila's home. So I think in a way the quarantine worked on our side.
Yeah.
But now Jam is back in the office. So that's one thing that we really had to think about, how the logistics is gonna be and how much time is gonna be spent on Emilia without compromising our day job, and with at the same time making the customer service in Emilia at par with us both at home. So that's really one of the factors that we really had to consider. Because even if it's just an online store or it's just an e-commerce site and we don't have brick and mortar or we don't have retail in the malls, it does take a lot of time. I think that's something that we kind of underestimated, being newbies in this online world. But we were so surprised on how much time it took us. So I think for those who want to start, just make sure that your priorities are aligned and then you have time to give to the business, even if it's just purely online. Third would be just just how long we really want the brand to be. From the onset, we knew that we didn't want this just to be a quarantine business or a brand. So that's something we said, that we are starting it in quarantine, but we're not just gonna make it a quarantine brand. That's when we really thought that, hey, we really wanted to do this because we're not just gonna do it because we're in quarantine and we're in lockdown. We really are eyeing for Amelia to grow outside of that. So that's when we really thought that, hey, maybe we really wanted to start this business. I don't know with Will. Maybe Will, with your experience and expertise in business, you have different touch points and different criteria on when you started with business. But with Jenna and I, we're just really basic at the very beginning. We just want to make sure that all our bases are covered with our current responsibilities.
Yeah, I think.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Jam.
Sorry, and just to add, since it's an online business, we get most of our customers from Instagram, and the one thing that really was a big issue at the start was I have anxiety opening our inbox, because I really I really hate replying, because even to my friends and my family I don't reply at all. So I had to convince people to, please, can you please do it? I can't quit anymore. If you don't do the messages, I'm gonna quit Amelia. So especially if you're an introvert like me, you really have to take that into consideration, because there's no escaping talking to customers.
Right. It's important then, to have like the initial like contact with the customers. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Nicole and Janelle. How about Will?
I mean, what Janelle and Nicole has done is really outstanding, and it really runs into their blood that they're really entrepreneurs. But maybe just to add to their point, one key aspect that I'm seeing for really good entrepreneurs is being experimental. So what do I mean by that? If you have a mindset that you are willing to experiment and take risks, then that's the time that you'll be able to uncover a lot of learnings and a lot of strategies that would work. So think of it as if you're starting a business and you're not really testing and learning, you'd probably go stuck, and then probably if it doesn't work, you would just shut it down. But if you have that experimental mindset, that you are willing to, in a way, play around what products ang mabenta, and then if it's not, then I'll pivot to another product. If it does work, then I'll scale this fully. So if you are, or like for example, if you're already selling across different platforms, does it work in Facebook? Does it work in Instagram? Or does it work in both? If you don't really experiment, you wouldn't really know. So the name of the game here is to know what works and what does not work. If you're stuck in just putting a lot of hypotheses na parang in your head, hindi ko na itatry yan kasi sure hindi fail. Hindi ko na itatry, I'm not gonna do selling through Messenger. Hindi ko na itatry yan. I'm not gonna boost ads just because sayang lang sa pera yan. If you didn't try, you wouldn't really know. But if you tried and then it failed, at least you know, right?
Right.
But if you tried and then it worked, then you have a golden nugget there. So that's one piece that I'd also like to encourage. I mean, those budding entrepreneurs out there, you need to have that experimental mindset, because without that, you would easily just throw your business under the bus. The second point that I have is you need to put your mind in building a business, or just playing in the short interim of time na meron tayong pandemic. So to Nicole and Janelle's point, they wanted this to be a business that transcends the pandemic. It's not a parang hobby na you're just doing because you're rich of time, right? So the difference there is that in a business, you don't give up easily just because there is a struggle or there is an ongoing problem. In a play hobby, anytime that you're hit by, ay, ang hirap pala nito, ayoko na. So so if you're really set of doing a business, you need to make sure that you're really up for the challenge, because doing a business, although there's a low barrier and entry, there is a high level of commitment of doing it. So with Nicole and Janelle, we're not full-time business owners na who don't have a day job, but we're able to also manage our time, because we have that commitment to really build and even expand that business.
Yeah, so it was nice to hear nga, you know? So Nicole and Janelle, like super pinanindigan talaga. Like even after the pandemic, you guys have a vision na you want this business to stay talaga and build the brand. And something
maybe just to add on that, and it doesn't also mean na having a hobby na buy and sell is wrong. I mean, it's just a matter of preference. If you just want a hobby na parang you wanted to do buy and sell during this time because you have extra time, then that's completely fine. But if you want a real sustainable business, then that's another thing.
Right.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off, Andre.
Yeah. And yeah, it's okay, Will. Thank you for that. And one thing that stuck to me then with what Will said is actually recently I attended a marketing seminar, and one of the things that they mentioned was the difference between traditional marketing and now, since the pandemic, entrepreneurial marketing is you have to fail a lot, fail fast, but fail cheap. So don't be afraid to fail. So yeah, that's really something that stuck to me with what you said. So thank you. And okay, sige, next. So since for Nicole and Janelle, you started the business quite recently lang, and Will even before the pandemic. Pero during those early days, or like even the days leading up to the official launch, I imagine there might have been a lot of nervousness, ganun. So how did you deal with that? And siguro, how did you start getting the attention of consumers despite that, like yung parang uncertainty of starting a business?
Sige, I can go first.
Okay.
So there would be anxiety just because you don't really can predict everything. So you won't be able to predict what would sell. I mean, you would have a lot of assumptions, and of course, you've done your homework to check what's going to most likely sell or what's trending. But parang the biggest proof is if it happens already, diba? So there would be an anxiety at the onset. However, if you have that mindset wherein this is a business that is built on experimentation and also with risk, there would also be in a way somewhere in your head that tells you that you shouldn't be obsessed every day to look at your results, because it might not work in day 1, but it might work in day 7. So it's just like parang stock market. So in stock market, right, parang if you keep on obsessing yourself every day to see if it goes high or it goes low, sobrang nakaka-anxious yun, pwedeng mabaliw ka na, di ba? But if you think long-term, play or even mid-term play, then that would also alleviate that extra stress or anxiety. Actually, the stress is not happening prior to the launch of the business. Actually, in terms of feeling, I don't know with Janelle here in the room, no, pero it was more exciting pa nga when you are starting it out. The anxiety kicks in and the struggle kicks in midway. Kapag parang nagpa-plateau na or parang wala nang pumapansin sa'yo. So that's where the struggle and the challenges arise. But I would say the first part is easy. I mean, you're so excited, you have full of energy, you assume that this is going to be the best idea in the world. So ano talaga yan? As in fireworks. So it's really in the middle that really segregates the good to great. Yeah, I don't know if Nicole and Janelle also have some insights around that.
Okay. So based on our experience, in the first few days, since no one was ours, there was like there was not much nervousness because like no one knew it was ours. So if it's embarrassing,
yeah, like we would only embarrass each other if it failed. And we've been doing that since we were like 7, so it was fine. Yeah, but then I don't know, like we would question our moves, I think, sometimes. But I think that's normal.
Yeah, and just to continue what Will was saying, in the first few days, it's really exciting. But I think for other people as well, some people think that once you open a business, the followers they just keep coming. But it's not really like that. It takes a while for you to build up a following, and it's really important for you not to be obsessed. Like, oh my god, why do I only have 100 followers? It doesn't matter if you only have 100 followers, as long as those followers buy from you, and they keep posting.
Right.
And other people will take notice. You just really have to be patient about it. And I also agree with what Will said about the plateau. There was this time that Nicole and I would give each other panic attacks. Like, Nicole, oh my god, Emilia's dying. Yes, it's really in the middle that the struggle is, the strongest.
Yeah, like there would be times because we call Amelia our quarantine baby. Basically, she's a mix of both of our personalities, and we'd always say Amelia H. People would really think she's real. So sometimes we think she's dying because no one. Like there are times when no one's buying and we don't get it because we look at data points, right? Like we would pass sales and we would do at that certain date. But for some odd reason, like for example, this day we're not doing well and we don't get it. And then I think like with ours, since we just started March, I don't think we just have that enough data points for us to really master it yet. But we do follow that on a monthly basis. And right now, we don't see that much pattern yet. That's why sometimes we think she's dying.
Okay, sige. Moving on to the...
Maybe I'll just pick one snippet coming from what Janelle said. No? So, coming from Facebook, I would say not to be obsessed with the following and also the likes. I picked up yung sinabi ni Janelle. If they don't, it doesn't matter if you have 1 million followers or likes and then just 10 people bought, versus having 100 followers tapos you're earning like 1 million. So what would you prefer, right? Is it the followers or the likes, or is it your end goal, which is profit. So you always bias towards your end goal, which is, I mean, starting a business. I don't know what your motivations are, but the profit would be one of them, I'm sure, right? So that's something that we also advise as part of Facebook, that people need to look at their real business goals. So if their business goals is to increase following, then well and good. Pero wala kang kita doon. So anong gusto mo? Malaking fan base? You want to be fat but no profit? Or do you want to be rich pero kahit na okay lang yung fan base? So you have to choose, and you have to be mindful that you're building a business because of profit or for popularity.
Right, thank you for that, Will. Okay, parang, yeah, like the first instinct talaga of people is parang following. But parang, yeah, but parang di na gumagalaw yung follower count ko. Pero yeah, that's ano talaga, profit is really one of them. So yeah, now na parang you guys parang reminisce yung the starting phase of your business, how would you compare it naman to now, as in currently? What's the notable progress you've seen and maybe things you've learned so far? Sige, anyone? Nicole, Janelle?
For Amelia's home, so we started Amelia's home basically curating. So Jam and I are huge shopaholic in everything, like clothes, shoes. So when the quarantine started, it became like house stuff. We started like buying house stuff. So we monetized that urge of us buying. So we started with curating products for Amelia's home. Really handpick the designs that we like, the products that we like. Now, we are trying to be a safe space for local artists. So we just released our first collaboration with a local designer who was one of our first clients also. His name is Gian Wong. So it's our first ever capsule limited collection with Amelia's home. So there's that. I mean, when we started Amelia's home, we never thought of getting here. So I think this is really a small win for us, and we want to collaborate with more local artists and release more collections. Just to give a brief background why we decided to collaborate with local artists. At the middle, when we launched Amelia's, people were like looking for more original designs when other shops started popping up. So we this is so funny, just like me trying to say it. It's really funny because Jam and I designed products, which turned out to be bestsellers. But I think that was what Will was trying to say. Now you have to be willing to experiment and risk, because we didn't have the capital yet to collaborate and be able to pay a designer. So we designed with zero design background, with zero Photoshop. We did it in Keynote.
Keynote. It was like
Keynote, guys. Kasing dikit-dikit ng mga stuff. Drawing in a paper, scanning it, and trying to fill it up. And then we did a plantita design because we noticed that a lot of our followers who we followed back had a lot of plants, showing plants and stuff. So I don't think it's really the design why it became a bestseller, just because of the sheer relevance of it being a plantita throw. It became so slow progress for us. It became us curating 100% curated products in Emilaso. And then we started to put designs, and now we're collaborating. And in the future, we want to be at least 50-50, 50 curated designs and 50% original designs by local artists.
And just to add to that, it was really funny that we created our design through Keynote, because we don't have Photoshop, we don't have what do you call InDesign or any Adobe software. So we were thinking, okay, how are we gonna make a design? And then I just look at my apps and I saw Keynote, and it was the easiest one to maneuver to make a design. And it's really, until now, it's still selling out.
Yeah, but we did say we designed it. We said Emilia.
Yeah, because again, we were embarrassed.
Yeah, we can.
So must have been a pleasant surprise, no? Na your designs were the best sellers. Oh, wow, that's amazing. Yeah, thank you, Nicole and Janelle. How about Will?
Yeah, actually, I wanted to add up to what they said. No, I mean, just to echo back what I mentioned earlier around the low barrier to entry in making a business now is exactly what they pointed out. Even your designs, even your, I don't know, photos or creative assets that you post online are easily built with your existing apps, existing tools, even with Keynote, even with PowerPoint. I mean, if you go to Instagram, I'm sure ang creative na nga ng mga stories ng mga tao. I mean, you, diba?
Yeah.
Crazy. So, I mean, people are really able to create those stuff even without hiring a professional designer. So, I mean, the in that sense, the barrier to entry is low. You don't really need a huge capital to really work on that. Now, going back to your question, so at least on my end, the business now is, in terms of industry, what I'm seeing is that a lot of people are playing in e-commerce, especially during this time, just because people need to pivot online because their personal physical store or brick and mortar are not having high traffic versus before, right? I mean, high foot traffic. I mean, people are less going outside, parang syempre in terms of safety, etc. So they needed to migrate online. Not only small to medium businesses, but even the biggest ones. I mean, even the multinationals and even the you see malls, you see restaurants, everyone's really going online. So that means that competition online is also intensifying just because a lot of people are now looking out for your attention and for your of course to entice you of buying their products or services. Now, on the flip side, there's also an opportunity because this Christmas time, especially during this time, which didn't have any precedence whatsoever, right? So, I mean, no one knows what's gonna happen during Christmas. So, because people still wanted to celebrate, I mean, people will start looking what to give and also self-gift. So we see the trend that people are looking online what to buy their friends and directly ship it to them. But at the same time, we are also seeing a huge spike in self-gifting because people wanted to do shopping as a retail therapy. People want to get something and then unbox them themselves because there's satisfaction there. Na parang, I deserve this. This year has been so difficult. Parang ganyan, I deserve this gift. Diba? So,
I survived 2020.
I'm sure si Nicole, even Nestle Loader and even Mac, right? Marami yan. Even if hindi naman sila gumagala, hindi naman masyadong makeup all the way, they still, self-care is something that is very crucial. And even with personal care, where in this particular time, people are actually in their homes and keeping this as a, I would say, a time wherein it's like a cocoon na parang ipo-beautify nila yung sarili nila para kapag nakaalis na tayo lahat ng bahay, they're like a newborn butterfly and then sobrang laki na ng glow up nila. So there are some things that when you think about it, there in a crisis, ito sinabi ng Andre, are you Chinese?
Oh yes, I'm Chinese.
You are, diba? So I'm also Chinese with our surname. Sabi nga daw ng mga Chinese, if there's crisis, there is opportunity. So I'm seeing that while we are in this pandemic and it has been disrupting all walks of life, there is always an opportunity there. And it's really up to us and it's up to you to really grab that particular opportunity. So at least for my business, circling back to your question, that's what I'm already progressing with. It's really the holiday season. How do I make myself relevant to gifting and self-gifting?
Thank you for that, Will, Nicole, Janelle. Now, we're gonna proceed to our last question na. So, ayun nga, diba, with the recent news na may vaccine na daw. Okay, so, what do you guys want to tell our viewers? What's in store for your businesses post-pandemic? Ayun, parang ano lang, teaser lang kung meron na kayong, yeah.
Ano ulit yan, Andre? Sorry, I didn't pick that up. What's the?
What's in store? What's in store for your respective businesses post-pandemic? May mga plans na ba kayo? Malaking pasabog, ganun.
Well, guys, get the vaccine. I will line up and get the vaccine first. Mamaya na si Emilia. Gusto ko ng vaccine.
Smart. How about, si Will.
No, so yun naman. So I mean, by the end of the year, that's what at least on my businesses, that's what will really progress with. It's really, it's gift giving. I mean, people are at home. People are also struggling. I mean, I'm not. I don't know if anyone is happy in the situation, right? I mean, we are in the same typhoon or in the same chaos, but sadly we're not in the same boat. I mean, people are less privileged to have a worse boat than others, right? But we're still all in the same calamity here.
Right.
So at least what's in store for my brands is really to give back and show care with the people you love and people that you wanted to give back to. So I think this is the perfect season to do it. And at the same time, there are products such as my e-commerce businesses that you can also utilize or even buy to gift with your loved ones and even to yourself, because we all deserve this kind of break.
Great, thank you guys. Anything to add pa from anyone? Or all good?
Answer, I just said vaccine. Obviously, parang hindi ko inisip si Emilia sa sagot.
Baka si Janelle may other...
Na-excite ako sa vaccine masyado.
So I'm in the line of public service, and it's really important for me, and I'm also influencing Nicole to, to give back. So we've partnered with a few groups that are working together to give relief and to help rebuild their communities in less known areas such as Aurora, because the focus is mostly on Marikina, Cagayan. So we're using Emila's home to attract more attention to less known areas that are hit by the typhoon.
All right, thank you guys. So thank you, Will, Janelle, Nicole, for an insightful talk show session. So we truly learned a lot from you guys starting a business amidst a pandemic. So yeah, dami talaga na learn, super insightful. Even
Sure ba? Naka-joke lang yan.
No, grabe. Because okay, so I started nung June, July. I started like IG shop. Pero yeah,
you start young, no? Okay.
Yeah, same siya. I don't have any background in graphic design ganun. So I had to learn everything from scratch. I didn't expect the amount of time talaga it took. So yeah, amount of time it took, and yeah, and yung effort. So one of the things na really stood out to me is don't be afraid to experiment, and starting a business is really a commitment. So you have to put in a lot of your time and effort talaga. So yeah, thank you guys, super insightful talaga. Really learned a lot, and yeah, I hope everyone who's watching also learned a lot. So how's everyone out? So please stick around because we will have our Q&A session after this. So okay, this event wouldn't be possible without our company partners. Career Development Month 2020 is co-presented by UP CAPES and INKOMPASS in partnership with Accenture, Analog Devices, JPMorgan Chase Company, Maxim Integrated, Mondele Philippines, Nestle Philippines, Texas Instruments Philippines Incorporated, and Unilever Philippines. All right, so now we will have our Q&A session. So some of these questions are actually from our viewers here today. Okay, so ano na lang, anyone can start first. Okay, so this is for all. What is the most effective gimmick you've used during the pandemic for your businesses?
Nicole is in charge of her.
Okay.
Sure. Did we do a gimmick? I wouldn't say. I don't know if it's like a gimmick. We haven't done any promos yet, so parang we haven't. Parang the only thing that's gimmicky, at least for us, is when we design, because we're not designers. So I think gimmick talaga namin yun para lang mauna sa original designs and stuff. But in terms of that, we haven't had any programs yet with Emilia that we have to do like a promo of some sorts or like a gimmick yet. We haven't gone that. I think it's just purely the newness of the brand. So we haven't reached that point yet. So I think I would say the most gimmicky, crazy, very experimental thing we've done is design our own throws and pillowcases.
And it was very effective. No? Very effective. Yeah, sorry, Janelle.
I think I think one of the things we've done that could be considered as gimmicky is Nicole makes these quizzes and these polls, and we're surprised that a lot of people like would participate. And and when I would check our messages, she would have full on cuento sessions with our customers, and then they would keep on buying just to they've built this friendship, and I call her with
Emilia. Okay, just a friendship with Emilia. They don't know it's us.
Not Nicole.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if you guys consider us gimmicky, but we're very big on our Instagram stories. We want to make our consumer feel that behind Emilia's home, there's still a whole persona around her. We want our audience to feel that she's a real person. That's why we do this more quizzes, or sometimes Emilia cooks for Father's Day, or she goes yoga. You can listen to our Spotify for meditation. And then we would do like a lot of memes because we have a lot of Gen Z millennials to like young mom millennials. So we would do a lot of mga memes na kaya Emilia's dead on a Monday, mga ganon. And I feel like they can relate to it because malamang Emilia's dead on a Monday. But like, what do you feel in 2020? And Emilia's like happy, she's not seeing anyone. And then when you swipe, it's Emilia like crying, dying. And I feel like a lot of people can relate to it. So more than just us selling products, we really want to be relatable to our consumers as well. I mean, sinimulan na nila is hi Emilia and thank you Emilia. So pinanindigan na namin, tao na si Emilia with feelings and into these quizzes. We built a whole
meltdowns
behind her. She has meltdowns. She posts her cats. And it's nice, like that one, we started Emilia Thornberry na hashtag, like, find the Thornberries. Because we would post our cats, Jam's cats, and my Chihuahua. And then people started sending their pets. So we have this whole hashtag na sila, yung pet nila. So that's something nice then. I don't know if that's a gimmick because that came organically.
They're amazing. It really was effective, and parang it built a relationship with your our market. So wow. Thank you, Nicole and Janelle. How about Will?
That was an amazing example.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean, for a brand to really thrive, you have to be authentic. and if people really feel that they're talking to a business who is authentic and they are able to connect to, parang there's kind of a magical connection between them. Kaya biglang, that's the best case scenario wherein people are actually sharing already their personal lives with the business, right? I mean, it's not one way. It's actually two way. So maybe at least on my end, one thing that I also would like to share with the people who are watching is that um, I would say gimmicks are okay, but do not be obsessed with it. Maybe just because that's a reason why Janelle, Nicole, and I was struggling in terms of thinking of what gimmicks we do, because it's very short term or very spike. Parang ano lang siya, parang spur of the moment, or parang one day there's a gimmick or a few ano, and then it dies. So when you create a business, you need to go beyond the gimmicks. You need to think long term. What's your real strategy look like? So at least for my brands, I don't usually put a lot of gimmicks, but syempre, I mean the usual of connecting with people. But in terms of promotions, there's not much a lot of gimmicks involved, or I would say in its strictest sense. But I do invest because I mean by virtue that I work in Facebook, of course I do ads and I do a lot of performance marketing. So that's how I usually scale up in terms of the sales and also the return on investment.
Okay, thank you, Will. Next question. This is just for Will. So, how are you able to manage multiple businesses? How do your business with other aspects of?
Okay. So in terms of managing it, so I do partner with someone who also has the same passion with me in terms of this business. So all the three businesses that I actually have different partners around that. So I handle mostly the sales and marketing part because of my current expertise and also my day job. But at the same time, I allow my business partners to really um, uh, complement us complementing each other based on our strengths. So it won't feel like it's another job or it's another task to do if it's something that you are strong in doing. So if you feel like it's something that you are excel and time mabilis ano yan, makikita mo na lang may time na ubang lahat without you knowing it. I mean, especially you, like for example, you Andre, if you really love engineering and it really energizes you and you're really strong at it, it doesn't. I mean, you'll lose sense of time na parang ano na pala, ganitong oras na pala. So it won't really matter that much. Now, your second question was, sorry, I blabbered a lot. I forgot the second
It's okay,
question.
Will. How do your businesses help you with other aspects of your life?
Okay. So having a business and being an entrepreneur teach you most of the practical stuff that schools won't be able to teach you. So because there's going to be scientific theory about it, but not the discovering be I would say be very um,
Applying it.
creative.
Yeah.
Yeah, creative and applying it in terms of your business. So once you do business, there would be a lot of things that you would encounter that is not written on textbooks or not even written in the internet, and you need to just discover it on your own. So of course you it would be a big advantage if you have both, meaning you are street smart and you have that capability to be really agile. but at the same time, you know your stuff, meaning you know the science behind it and all the theories about it. Think about it. I mean, there are large sari-sari store owners who are thriving today, which didn't have a more robust education currently at that space, but they're really budding and thriving entrepreneurs that probably is more profitable than I am today. So it's it's one and another. It's a different kind of skill, but if you do have both, you'd really thrive and higher chances of winning.
Right. Thank you, Will. Okay, so next, last question for the Q&A for Emilia, Jose, Janelle, and Nicole. The rest, given there's a lot of members popping up recently. And yeah, what's unique about your business?
Si Emilia, ang unique.
Our quarantine baby is the unique. I think one thing that's really unique about Emilia, si Emilia talaga yung binenta. Natawa ako, sorry. Yun yung unang sinabi ni Will, si Emilia. I think one thing that's really unique is we're a direct-to-consumer brand, and we started on Instagram, and we're like a pandemic brand, but we don't end up there. So we plan to grow Emilia, and then the next would be probably just our goal to be a safe space where artists can thrive. I think that's one thing we really want Emilia to set apart. We want to give designs that people weren't open to yet, and products that probably they haven't seen before in a very, very good price point, not designer brand, even if it's made by a local artist. And one thing that we also really, really invest on Emilia is good customer service. That's why I think Jam was saying na parang nagiging personal na yung mga the messages with the clients, or it's really just going beyond what's like normal messaging. Like maybe if you message a big brand, there's like a set of how they're supposed to answer, or like a set message that you will never find Emilia. Like Emilia will adjust on how you message her. If she has to speak French, Emilia will speak French. There's this thing that at Emilia we just don't think about the product, and it's true. Like maybe throws, the pillows, and whatnot are our core product, but really our whole product is the whole consumer journey of our client. From the moment they go to our Instagram, to our website, checking out to us is a product. Like the packaging to us is also our product. So we really just wanna like let you know that when you buy from Emilia, there is a personal touch from Emilia. The moment you step on our Instagram page, on our website, the packaging of Emilia, even if you see similar products, it's really like when you receive it, you would like be sure that it came from us. That's how like you can set us apart. Yeah, and like we really just want to tap in the inner artists of our consumer. I think one way that a brand can really transcend through time, if you're just thinking more of like just a trend, we're lucky because we came in a trend na parang nag-redecorate talaga yung mga tao. But that's something that we really want to speak more of, that we're just not concentrating on a specific product in Emilia or like on a trend. We're really like wanting to bring out in our clients that, hey, maybe you have an inner artist in you that we want to have, or maybe, hey, you can be an architect. Like just, you know how like, let's say Nike would do it. Na parang, hey, there's so many shoes, like they have Under Armour and Adidas, but there's something at Nike, na parang they tap your inner athlete. That's kind of what we want to do with Emilia, and like at the same time, Emilia can be their friend, which Emilia is trying to be right now.
And also to add to that, Nicole mentioned something about packaging and the personal touch of Emilia. Okay, so you know how in the past you just had to make sure home goods were, as well as packaging, look cool and pretty. Now it also has to look cool and pretty, but also durable for robust cleaning, and it's already sanitized and disinfected. We actually wash all of our products and iron them and put tons of like downy before we ship them out. And people would actually message us, "Oh my God, your product smells so nice. What did you use? Can we buy
Or
it?"
like Downy. Downy sunset yung blue.
It's also a labor of love, really. So I fold, I do all the packaging, I do all the cleaning myself. Before
I don't do it. It's all Jam.
She does the talking, I do the logistics. So it's really, you have to adjust and make it as personal as possible. And it's really nice when people, "Hey, oh my God, thank you so much for washing the throw so we can use it immediately." It's really rewarding to hear that.
Yeah, because like at the end of the day, a lot of people will sell the same products. Like, will probably there's a lot of people also selling like hair stuff, but they can never get your branding. So they can never get Emilia. Like Emilia is literally born out of Nicole and Jam's boredom, and the whole persona we built behind her. That's something that they can never get. And we always want to make sure that it's visible on all of our socials, since we are a social first brand, and in our packaging and in our note cards that Emilia doodles.
I do doodles, like psycho doodles.
Like psycho doodles. Psycho talaga, as in psycho.
Sometimes,
So yeah, I think
say, "Can you write a message?" And Nicole would say, "Oh, do you want this to put doodles?" And the person would say, "Oh, can I see?" And Nicole would show them this note card that I made. No, literal, wala nang space, puro doodle na lang. And tuwan-tuwa yung customer. So now we do it for everyone who asks.
Yeah, and then the
Like,
customer would be like, "I can feel Emilia's breakdown last Monday through your doodles," and we're like, "Yeah, Emilia's really on the verge of breakdown pa lang now." Yeah, so I think that's why I think branding really comes into play with that. Ang dami na kong sinabi. I'm so sorry, guys.
Parang na-imagine ko, yung sa mga ways, ganun, baka pwede niyo i-petition si Emilia na lang magsalita. Next iPhone, si Siri, si Emilia na lang, hindi na si Siri. So, thank you. Thank you, guys. So, sabi ko last question, pero that was just a joke. Meron pa tayong fast talk. So, yeah, ready na ba kayo for the fast talk? So, yung, the order is Will, Janelle, tapos Nicole.
Okay.
Alright?
Ito talaga for yes or no? Tama ba?
We'll see. Alright, sige, ready na. First question. If you had the chance to start your business over again, what would you do differently? Will?
Nothing. I mean, it's something that I'm already proud of.
Okay, thank you, Nicole. Janelle, let's stick with the order.
I would start with more original designs.
Okay, thank you, Nicole.
I would start after ECQ because the shipping is just wow.
All right, next question. One word to describe yourself when you started this. Will?
Lost.
Anxious.
Janelle?
Meltdown psycho.
One word.
Sorry, psycho.
All right, next question. Least favorite part about your job?
Answering customers.
Same. I have Nicole.
My least favorite part is super opposite to them too, because I'm PR in like my day job, so I like talking.
Yeah.
My least favorite part would probably delivery, everything that has to do with supply chain, everything that Jam has to do, mga documented finance stuff.
All right. Next, most exciting part naman about your job?
Oh, when you see results.
All right.
I like packaging, really. I like packing the order. And clicking fulfilled.
Nicole?
Mine would be collaborating with artists. Really, we learned so much just from collaborating with these people.
All right. Ito baka kay Will mahirap. Your favorite piece or product that you sell?
Favorite piece?
Yes.
Ang hirap. Yung yung coffee brew tumbler ko. Coffee
Alright.
flask.
Janelle?
Emilia La Filipina, because I decide that on Kino.
Nicole?
I think I would go with Gian's Tiger Throw because that's our first collaboration and I super love that.
Alright, next. Source of inspiration.
Source of inspiration?
Yes.
Ano ba itong mga fast talk na to? Source of inspiration? I don't know.
Pwede man di tao. Pwede man di tao.
My parents.
Ayan.
Yung pinaka-generic of all. Ang hirap naman ito. Okay.
Janelle?
My cats. Because I use my whatever, because my cats are very expensive. So whatever I get from Emilia, my cats eat 6 times a day.
Oh, wow.
My cats are my inspiration.
Wow.
Nicole?
My bank account, the moment I see money coming in, I get super inspired to work more.
Alright.
Plus one kay Nicole.
Sige, last.
Diba iba yung feeling of gratitude na umaakyat yung bank account.
Oo.
Last fast talk. Short piece of advice for aspiring business owners during these uncertain times.
Me first.
Short
piece of advice is first you need to stay strong during this time. But when you're when you've established na you're already good to go, then stay innovative. So don't be limited with what you already know. But explore the stuff that you don't know. And that's the time that you'll really discover and uncover those brilliant stuff that you might love and you might excel with. And this is the right time to do it because you have the time.
For me, reinvent. Because the challenge, for me, it's reinvent. The challenge here is people don't know how long or how deep this pandemic is going to be. So you really have to continue reinventing yourself. You have to keep looking for new needs to address and just keep going, really.
Nicole?
For me, I think I know a lot of businesses are popping up. So I feel like you guys shouldn't be pressured to open your own if you feel like you're not ready. I think that's what's really important. Because Jam and I, we really wanted to have our own business. Let's say we started talking about it early January. We didn't think there was going to be a pandemic. And it's just so happened that we were ready to release it during PCTU, which wasn't really like an optimal time. So what I'm trying to say, I think it's going to be different from each of us. So just don't pressure yourself. If you feel like you need to make a business now during pandemic, then good for you. If you feel like you need to just concentrate on yourself, self-meditate, and then just think about business after, that's also fine. And yeah, don't pressure yourself, guys.
And if I may also add, sorry. If I may also add, just don't, if people, if there are new businesses popping up, lots of competition, don't obsess on it really, because it's just gonna cripple you, like it did me for a while. So Nicole and I would take turns on who can have a meltdown. So oh my god, Nicole, there's a new Instagram store, and if they don't pay your bills, pay them no mind.
All right. Thank you. So that wraps up our talk show. Grabe, thank you talaga to Will, Janelle, Nicole. Super insightful. Really learned a lot. And yeah, before we end, siguro you guys want to promote or plug your businesses or social media accounts for all our viewers? Feel free.
Yeah, so I'll go first. So follow us, Instagram, Facebook, and you can also visit our website. So it's riversdrinkware.com. So you'll be able to also Google it. At the same time, the retail, fashion retail that I have is Staff Co Wear. So we're also in Facebook, Instagram, and also have a website. And lastly, it's groomboxph.com. Same social media channels.
Nicole?
Nicole and Janelle.
For Amelia's Home, we're at emilias.home on Instagram and emiliashome.com for our flagship store. And we're going to release our Christmas bundles or sets soon. Dapat this weekend, baka next weekend, we're going to release that. I'm also going to plug my other work at MAC Cosmetics. If you missed the 11/11 sale, we'll have 12
pa.
May 12 last chance, guys. It's gonna be super good sale. What? Jam, do you want to promote CHR?
Stand up for human rights.
Amen. Okay. Thank you guys. So yeah, to our viewers, follow, like and follow. And yeah, once again, thank you so much to Will, Janelle, and Nicole for the insightful session about starting a business amidst a pandemic. So sana you guys had fun din naman and maybe learned a lot then from each other. Yeah. So really glad to have you guys here. And yeah, thank you again.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andre.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
So a big thank you again to our guests for today's talk show. We greatly appreciate your time to answer our questions on starting a business amidst a pandemic. We look forward to applying what you just taught us in our business endeavors in today's setting. So as a token of gratitude, we hereby present our certificates of appreciation. UCAPES presents these certificates of Ms. Janelle Inojales and Ms. Nicole Tejano for imparting their valuable insights and inspirations as our guest speakers for the Starting a Business Amidst a Pandemic talk of the Career Development Month given this 20th day of November 2020. Again, thank you to our speakers for imparting your knowledge on essential elements, tips, and skills needed in pursuing business endeavors during a pandemic. All right, so that officially concludes our session for today. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. This event wouldn't be possible without our company partners. Career Development Month 2020 is co-presented by UP CAPES and INKOMPASS in partnership with Accenture, Analog Devices, JPMorgan Chase Company, Maxim Integrated, Mondele Philippines, Nestle Philippines, Texas Instruments Philippines Incorporated, and Unilever Philippines. A big thank you to everyone for attending Career Development Month 2020. We hope to see you in the next UP CAPES events. Once again, I'm Andre, and have a great day. Bye, guys. Thank you.